Hey, it's me, Cheesy. Welcome back to Of the Devil. So, I guess we're in the basement of this dude's penthouse. Yeah, and it's nice. Let's look at that gym. Taking a closer look, this is a pretty serious looking set of resistance training equipment. And these weights, they're all set near the max. If Noble hadn't appointed him a nutritionist along with his stylist, David would be downright scrawny. There's no way he was putting up these numbers, in which case the digits on the weights could be a clue. But there are too many, I can't guess the order. So what the hell, Asher? Why'd you set all the weights to maxed? Because it looked more neat? Probably. Admire the artwork? There's a card here. What is that? Oh, what was this? This flooring's a new addition. Looks rough like sandpaper, but it's bouncy, rubberized. Feels like something you drag your feet on at the gym or on a factory floor. It's more high performance than high class. Expensive, but not in the way you'd expect for a penthouse. Huh. Well, scratch that. It's actually cracked here. Rubber doesn't break, it bends. That's its thing. So someone must have cheaped out during the installation and left a defect in. That or David left a jackhammer on overnight. Okay. Very weird. I guess I'll admire this thing. It's a very big painting. Yeah. And it's impressionist? No, cubicle. Yeah, cubicle. That sounds right. Whatever its style, I do remember that David liked his painting. There was a date on it that could be a 6-digit password, but I don't see it anywhere. Maybe signing your work was considered gauche amongst the cubicleists? There is a transfer of color, though. Or, like, adjusting. Wait. It's like little dots here. Anyways. David's wine collection, still towering over the room. I don't know why he'd buy so many bottles. He didn't even particularly like the stuff. Maybe just to fill out all these shelves. But not all the bottles are untouched. Some of them don't have dust on them at all. There's a mechanism for retrieving bottles off the rack. The latest bottle chosen was Mer du Camp 81. Could be significant. Except vintages only list the year they were bottled, not the month or day. It's not enough digits for the code. Okay. So 80... 81. Wait, did I forget what I was doing? Let's see. Let's look at our little evidence. We don't have evidence. Let's look at things we noticed. No? Big blue painting. Okay. Predator is an oil on canvas painting by the mid-21st century neo-abstract expressionist Mads Haystorp. Haystorp? Anyways, arguably his most well-known work, it was displayed in the Kreulerheim Center d'Art Moderne. I don't know if I said any of that right. For 9 months before Haystorp entered the premises on 11/25/58 and used a hunting knife to cut the singular massive canvas into 3 separate pieces. When asked to comment, Haystorp replied, "My works are not complete until they have been signed." It's incomplete? Huh. His most well-known work. For 9 months. It's for 9 months. Let me see. On 11/25. So this is the months? So 9 months ago, it'd be like 02. Okay. Okay, that's something. 02. Right, what do we got here? This must be a spare liquor cabinet. Damn, there's a lot of good stuff in here. And a lot of bottom shelf swill. The kind of bargain bin vodka and noseburner whiskey that only an undergrad programmer would love. A nostalgia sweet like that, overpowering. 1 part per million can cover up even the cheapest aftertaste. All right, I've searched the whole room now. I'm gonna make it or break. I didn't even take any notes. Wait. Okay, give me a second. I have to now go remember everything again. I guess I'll just rewatch my own footage. I guess that would make the most sense. Honestly, it is very funny to be looking at my own clues through my own recording. Anyways, I'm back. I've looked over what I read, and I guess I have the what's it called? The date of when the painting is put up in the museum, which was what it was like 11. But he came 9 months earlier, so it's like 02 25. Oh, what was it again? 50, 51, 58. It's in my notes. 58. So let's see. It's a no dice. All right. I feel like there was at least one hint I came across, but that was the hint, right? Meg? No. That is not it. Wait. Copper, big blue painting. Animated. That's not it. That's not the thing I was looking at. Maybe I should have read all of these. But also, when it's relevant, it'll be relevant. Big blue painting. 11/25/58 then. I know there's the wine bottle, but it's not purple. 11/25/58. 25/58. Oh, that was so much less of a puzzle than I thought it would be. I was thinking we were going to need the wine, and we're going to need the... All right, whatever. It's fine. The date the painting was signed. A password, that is, and isn't left in plain sight. Nice one. Hey, Morgan, What? How did you get it to open? What is that? I turned back around just in time to see a door finish swinging open with mechanical grace, revealing... a girl. A barcode emblazoned across her temple. Required by law to be plainly visible. It's an android, clearly marked as such. And yet, even standing this close, I could swear it's... snoring? I step forward and place the back of my wrist on the android's brow. Warm. It must be a prototype for the animated 16. Or animate 16. Or maybe a prototype for the 17 or 18? A biomechanical android with real human flesh. Sorry, biomechanical, yes, but it's organic flesh, not human. They're grown from lax Gemini cultures, but Sorry, I misspoke. Right, understandable since. You seem surprised, Jess. Hasn't Noble been working on warm androids like this one for a few years? Yeah. The Animate 16 is the latest android produced by Noble Electronics. I think it's the greatest machine the world has ever seen. Boasting a battery life of over 154 hours, with patented soft-touch digitation, remarkable tenderness, and sensitivity, and the uncanny charm you've come to expect from us. We're sure that your Animate 16 will be the best purchase you make this year, and you'll never want to go back out in the cold. Okay. Oh, warm androids, that's it. Warm is currently the most widely used term to describe androids, robots specifically designed to emulate a human likeness, that feature organic flesh in some capacity. While the concept has been experimented with in the robotics industry for decades, Noble Electronics' recent foray into warm manufacturing with their Animate 16 model represents a huge leap forward that many analysts agree is a signal of widespread adoption to come. Though the specifics on how Noble's warm androids are manufactured and integrated remains a fiercely guarded industry secret, it is generally understood through marketing materials and user maintenance documents that warm androids will require oxygen, water, and periodic organic sustenance in addition to wireless charging. Okay. Sounds like fake humans that we are trying to create. Need a refill? Warm android supplementals are available for purchase through the Noble shop. Warm android doesn't receive sufficiently frequent supplementals or is repeatedly deprived of water, they may shut down most functions in order to preserve emergency power. If this happens, you can regain access to your warm android once you order supplementals have been confirmed and paid. Interesting. Okay, very weird. Body modifications. We had that from the last one. Big Bad Both was here. The Lobo beat our ass till we were ragdolled. For clearing out this cache of soy slop before you could clog your brains and arteries any further. To whatever dumbass dishwasher script kitty they yelled at to come fix this, word of advice from your superior. I own that password suggestion algorithm. Want to resecure? Try this. Relax your shoulders, stand up from your desk, take a deep breath, and then firebomb your own servers. Literally cheaper for you at this point. For the rest of you slack-jawed screen lobotomites looking for a little excitement in their search history, find a pig and rip their throat out. That'll teach you how to run with the wolf. Lobo is king. Okay. Well, I guess that's Lobo for you. I know they're trying to change things. This one's like Internet of Things, for network data sharing. Phones, computers, modifications, all comprise small but vital parts of this network. And it just shares a bunch of info. One of the coolest ways that improves lives is usage of crumbs, small packets of data containing your unique identifying information. That sounds dangerous. Crumbs allow for paperless identification. Nah, this is not cool. I don't want anything of my devices saying hi to other devices. Lets you see where you've been so you can see where you should go. I don't want that. It's terrible. I like that we adjusted it. Was a renowned computer scientist, user experience designer, industry leader, philanthropist, and lead programmer at Noble Electronics. He first received worldwide recognition for his postgraduate thesis on intelligent programmatic linguistic weighting, a body of work which should come to be known as the Turing solution. Though he retained the original patent on the Turing solution for the rest of his life, he was famously unlitigious. I don't even know what that means. By most industry experts' estimates, the Turing solution exists in some form of 92% of active, automated, dependent source codes. David Ashur's philanthropic efforts and invaluable skills placed him at the front and center of Noble Electronics' public image. He considered him to be an unofficial face of the company, and his private life graced the tabloids and gossip sections of the net may occasion. Right, it's June 31st. Entry has been received, unusually a number of suggested edits in the last 44 minutes. Yeah, all right. Makes sense. Warm androids like this one? I mean, yes, we have. Sorry, it's just that this particular model is very cutting edge. Yeah, sounds like it's one of those bleeding edge, judging by the flush in those cheeks. I think it's safe to say we found what we're looking for. I think so too. That presents a problem then. Oh, do you not approve? I've got nothing against androids. My concern is a bit more immediate and, well, practical. Practical? I don't know how to turn it on. Do you see a switch or something? Do you? Can we turn it around, or I poked the android's ribs. A little less give than I expected, given its frame, but the rigidity is remarkably lifelike. I place my hand on the shoulder and give it a shake, but it doesn't budge. This thing has to weigh more than... Right, androids mostly transport themselves, so people are always surprised to find out they're a bit heavier than they look. A bit? I'm surprised the whole room isn't slanted. There's no way in hell we're moving this thing without waking it up. Crap. First the vault, now this. I was able to guess the combination just by poking around. Compared to that, finding this hunk of junk's power switch should be child's play. And I think I know where to start. Jess, I'm gonna step back into the lab for a moment, alright? Huh? Sure. There's gotta be a manual around here. Good idea. Might be some kind of prototype, but it's still got a barcode. Maybe you can scan its GIN number, find something in the company files? Yeah, of course. All generic ID numbers should be paired with industry standard files on maintenance, tracking power requirements. Somehow doubt that the enigmatic robot taking a catnap in a sarcophagus in David Ashur's basement will have a user manual, but it can't hurt for her to try. And... I'm okay. Broke a heel, but I'm okay. I carry glue. And I'd rather search the lab by myself. Poor girl. Now then, if I were David and I wanted to make sure that only one person would be able to walk out of here with that android, how would I set that up? What a hero. Why can't I look at this globe? Okay, what's this? These appear to be holding tanks for something. How should I know? No labels or anything? Typical for a genius. But a nightmare for anyone trying to pick up after him. It's a lot more hard science than I expected in here. Centrifuges and glass and microscopes. Don't programmers do all their work with a keyboard? Not this one. And he's dead, so honestly, programmers should only work with keyboards at this point. What's this? Haven't seen that one since college, but it must be a 3D printer. Of some sort. Feels expensive enough to make other printers look like soda fountains by comparison. Better not mess with any of the settings. Yeah, it makes sense. What's this? Diagrams of human anatomy. The hands are highlighted. 5. There's 10 fingers. Most developed part of the human body, good for making stone axes and sending emails. Robots and frames can do just fine with claws or 3-digit imitations, but androids are expected to look like people and move like them too. Getting the hands right must be a big priority at Noble. That tree-like shape on the right is a neuron. Those branches receive input from varying weight, and then if the sum is greater than a certain threshold, the neurons fire. A 0 becomes a 1, and all the other zeros around it take that into consideration. Repeat that a couple billion times a second, and you've got the human brain, a computer powerful enough to simulate all of reality. That's the analogy I read in a magazine, anyway. Nice. Is there anything else in my cool cell phone terms? Jinn, blah, blah, blah. Concerns about automated and proceeding humans. Fake Jinn barcodes. Fins are one of the most commonly requested tattoos. The vast majority of reputed parlors will draw a line through the barcode once finished to avoid breaking identity law, so that there are some clients who care little about the consequences. MMA fighter Sam Lee Paka infamously sports a Jinn tattoo across his right knuckles and make a show of signing a check to pay the fine for displaying a false Jinn in an international broadcast every time he enters the ring. Lots of stuff going on in this world. All right, Starling. Oh yeah, it's true. I didn't looked at it. Okay, dancing, buying shoes, reselling shoes, hangovers, soft mattresses, machismo. Her earnest smile. That's her charm point. Relaxes by bar hopping in the lower wards. Best at reading the stock market. Hey, good for you. Executive assistant. It's me. I like trigonometry. All right. AB minus. Hell yeah. Criminal defense attorney. Sunburn, baths, karaoke, swimming, baking. You cannot ask someone that. Body count. That's so funny. Smokes, cigars, Death 13, cigarettes, and other adult stuff. Difficult to verify. Cool lady. But, alright, I guess I don't really have much to work with. Okay. We're back, baby. And we're gonna sign in. Looks like a fairly normal computer. If I'm lucky, the security will be fairly normal as well. Boot up complete. Username, vocal commands. David Ashur. Morgan. Guest. Thank you for logging in as guest. Didn't recognize my voice, so I can probably rule out a vocal command being the key to waking the android. Do you have a question? More than one. For now, though, what should I search for on this computer? Morgan. Search your files for Morgan. 23 results on the local drive. Can work with that. Mostly phone book and social data. But I don't recognize this file type. Some kind of personnel format? Date of birth, education, occupation, blood type, height, and weight? All right, buddy, a little invasive, don't you think? DNA and fingerprints. Now, why would you have that, David? My DNA isn't in any database. I made sure of that. So he couldn't have bought this anywhere. He must have collected it himself from a wine glass or the like. Would have been easy to do so, but why do it? All right, I'm starting to get a pretty clear picture of what it'll take to turn on this android. I've got the what. For the where and how. I just have to manage. Still just a piece of machinery. If it really won't turn on, I can always start hitting it. Yeah, that's a really good solution. Morgan, there you are. I've looked in every registry I could find and every database I can get into, but I don't think this android is in the system. Doesn't feel like it. It was a long shot. Don't beat yourself up over it. Yes, but an android without proper identification is... It's only buying or selling an android without proper identification that's illegal. And it doesn't seem like he ordered this online. I guess you're right, huh? We'll have it registered soon enough anyway. I think I figured out what we need to do here. Oh? If David really wanted me to have this, he would have left some way for me to turn it on. I didn't get any new info, right? Yeah. What are you thinking? David had my fingerprints and DNA on file. By requiring both, he could be reasonably sure that no one was powering up this android without my approval. You've done a swab before, haven't you? Every month for the company. Apparently, they're building a database on employees' epigenetics, cross-referenced with... Oh, so you're gonna... My DNA and fingerprints make the key. Now, where do I find the lock? It's the hands. There was that diagram back in his shop. Was it meant to be a literal handshake verification? Huh, thought that would work. Me too. It's not that. I'm assuming it's... would it be the lips? That'd be so weird. The lips are one of the most sensitive parts of the body. Not the worst place to make a scan, even if it's gross placing my finger there. Oh, that's still not doing it, huh? Come on, do I really need to push my finger deeper? Jiggle the key? Oh man, you went right in there. Are you touching the tongue? It's blinking at me. Wow! Serra go momin. I don't know what that means. Morgan. Long beat. What is this? What does this all mean? Good morning to you too. Are we talking through our robot brains? Are we robots? Is Morgan a robot? Are we an android? Cute. Hello, I've never seen you two before. I guess we should introduce ourselves then. Hi. This is Jessica Starling. She works for Dr. Ashur. I'm Morgan, a friend of his. Got all that? I understand. She is Jessica Starling, and you are Morgan. Last name unknown? No, Morgan is my last. Father told me about you. Ah, he did? Wait. Father? David. You had it call you Daddy? I'm referring to Dr. David Ashur. Are you confused? That is not the word I'd used. I'll throw a bone beyond the grave for the good doctor and just move this along. Did David say he was giving you to me, transferring ownership? Ownership? That is correct. And what else did? Mostly correct. Right, and what else did he tell you? Many things. Can you specify? I thought conversation was the first thing David figured out how to program. Did Dr. Ashur tell you anything that he wanted you to convey to Morgan? Message you were supposed to pass on? Yes. Jess, I think it's trying to... Oh, okay, sure. I'll give you I'll give you some privacy, Morgan. I've actually gotten about 14 messages in the last 2 minutes. Oh, God. I'll just head back to the lab and take some calls, okay? Thanks, Jess. Yes, thank you, Jess. You're welcome. Just the two of us now. So, what do I call you? My name is Serra. It's nice to meet you, Morgan. Trust me, the pleasure is all mine. So, what's the message? Father told me that I would be living with you from now on, and he told me that you would look after me. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Should it? A model this lifelike with warmth and breath and something close to blood in its veins. Just, what are you anyway? You forgot my name already. It's Serra. What were you built for? You're warm, obviously. You're not one of those physical therapy models, are you? That would be highly illegal. I haven't completed 500 hours of study at state-approved massage therapy school. I haven't even completed 1 hour. What purpose did Dr. Ashur design you for? I don't know the answer to that question. You don't know why he built you? No. Should I? How can you not? Do you? Would I be asking you if I did? I meant, do you know why you were created? Why you were born? Why? Am I a robot? Am I a robot? Why me? Why are you doing this? You're a freak. A monster. What the hell's wrong with you? Please don't kill me. Please, why? Why? Why was a monster like you even born? I don't know. I don't know how they're sounding. I guess I walked into that one. I was starting to wonder if you even had the Turing solution. Yeah, the Turing solution is, where is it? Postgraduate thesis. Yeah, true its name. Space Code has yet to fail any Turing test, a test designed to determine if the given answers come from a human or machine, applied to it with a success rate below 99.97%. Number of think tanks, charities, and corporations hold bounties for designing new Turing tests for the sole purpose of running them against David Ashur's work, though none have announced the awarding of any prize money thus far. Fun. Father's framework for programming linguistics in artificial systems, and the body of work which he first gained international recognition. Yeah, and international Do you have an answer to my question? An answer to why you were created? Why you exist? Occam's razor. I'm here because my parents wanted me. I see. Then I will give a similar answer. I was created because Father wanted to make me. Can't argue with that logic, can I? Can't argue with that logic. Father did say you're a lawyer. Yeah, that's me. You're a lawyer, and I defeated you with logic. World-class, high-power attorney, the best defense money can buy. So do you catch criminals? That's what cops do. Do you litigate criminals? That's what prosecutors do. Then you fight for the underrepresented, expose injustice, sue corporations and officials. I don't think anyone does that anymore. Then what do? I'm a criminal defense attorney, a defender of the innocent and powerless. She's very excited. Uh-huh. Do you also... Now that you know all about me, what can you tell me about yourself? I've never had to do that before. First time for everything. How old are you? I'm not sure I can give a satisfactory answer. Oh, for 2 on answering simple questions. What's the date of your earliest memory? 2 years ago. And where were you constructed or assembled or whatever? What facility? I was not constructed at any facility. Father created me here. By himself. You're saying if I took you apart, I wouldn't be able to find any markers from any manufacturers, any IDs, or any designers? You want to take me apart? David was a programmer, not an engineer. How could he build a custom android from scratch in the comfort of his own home? He couldn't have. Must have had help, probably a whole department's worth. Ask around, there's got to be someone in the company who can ID this thing. Maybe help me figure out what's so important about it. You don't look like any android I've ever seen. What are you made of? This body's comprised of organic tissues integrated directly into cybernetic systems. They require organic nourishment, including water, carbohydrates, and salt. Wait, warm androids have to eat and drink? Cannot be worth that much trouble. My cybernetic systems operate largely as analogs to their equivalents in the human body. I have a respiratory system for oxygen exchange and centrally located pump that circulates oxygen. You mean you've got a heart? How quaint. But where does all the extra weight come from? Pardon? I tried moving you earlier and it felt like I was pulling against a truck. My skeleton is a combination of medical-grade plastics and a military-grade titanium carbide alloy. That sure took the wind out of her sails. My muscles are made of adaptive rare earth alloy nano-weave fiber with shock absorption and kinetic chain potential rated path. Wait, did you say military grade? I have a grip strength above 1,000 kilograms. I can run at sustained speeds over 60 kilometers an hour. Oh my god, per hour. And I can jump 6 meters vertically. I can lift approximately... Ah, that's what all the weights are for. I'm not sure what kind of grip strength most androids are walking around with, but I've never seen any of them move the way it's talking about. Even just standing here, it seems to be poised, controlled, spring-tight, strength in its flexibility, like a ballerina or a gymnast. Strong enough to flip over a tank, lifelike enough to avoid detection. As long as it never stepped on a scale, it'd make for a perfect infiltration unit. The perfect weapon if you could keep its development a secret. Did David really put something that heavy on my plate, dismantling a military prototype in secret? Are you deep in thought? But a military infiltration android will look more crew-cut and forgettable. Why, and David really would devote personal time and effort to make another weapon for the military? I have other features I could tell you about if you like. If I shot you, would you die? It would be very painful, and there would be a discharge of fluid, but conventional weapons would not prove particularly effective. That settles it. This thing's a weapon, sure as I... Would you like to know about my hair? Your hair? I'm impressed you noticed. Each fiber contains miniature solar cell lattice technology, allowing me to remain charged throughout the daytime. Incredible hair. That must come in handy. I haven't actually had the chance to use it yet. Oh, you've never been outside. This room has an ambient wireless charging functionality, and I haven't gone outside much. Okay, maybe it's not a weapon after all. You're just a pincushion, aren't you? I'm not familiar with the term. Searching. Pincushion, jargon, design. Refers to prototypes filled with experimental technologies to check for compatibility issues. Got an idea, not sure what to do with it, stick it in the pincushion. That's as good explanation for as any as what I'm staring at. I don't know, it's a little too deliberate to be a pincushion. A mishmash of state-of-the-art military features spliced with odd and new technologies and seemingly pointless additions. The end result being a singular, unsellable android that wasn't particularly good at anything and would break down only after a few days. Pincushions are a small but valid part of the field of android manufacturing. They are valuable to collectors who see them as time capsules filled with their designers' most outlandish ideas and least reproducible results. But even the most nonsensical pincushions are built via committee, over years with numerous engineers and programmers adding in their pet functions. The android before me claims to have been built by one man. A man who's now dead. Seems we got off track there, Sarah. Was there anything else David told you to relay to me? Besides that you were to look after me, he also told me that you were reliable and that I should trust you. He said I was to listen to you and obey your instructions. Finally, some good news. As you say, Adonai. What's that? That word you called me. What was that? Adonai, from classical Hebrew. Translated literally, it means my lord. Do you prefer that I call you master? No. Very good, Adonai. Why David use Hebrew, though? Abrahamic myth tells of servants constructed out of earth and clay, designed to resemble and obey their masters. Golems, how poetic of him. Father must have found the comparison appropriate. Amusing, more likely. It's just a joke. Father would not make light of such a thing. Sure he would. Perhaps we should ask him to clarify his reasoning for himself. Where is Father, by the way? Is he upstairs? When was the last time you were active? 38 hours ago. Thursday night, then? Correct. Right. David Ashur is dead. He died last night, understand? How? May I see him? See him? No, I won't be able to see him. Funeral's probably not for a few days. Father was not... He was not sick. I don't feel like doing the whole song and dance with two robots in one day. That's very charming. Let's go to commands only. What? What happened? Did he have an accident? Why is it still doing theatrics? Does it not recognize my authority yet? The police have determined that he committed suicide. For the time being, we ought to focus on getting you properly registered. Maybe then you'll take commands the first time I say them and not. The police are wrong. Excuse me? They are wrong. Father did not commit suicide. He would never do such a thing. Father had. He had told me. Look, Sarah, I'm sorry? You're sorry? Father said you were his friend. How are you so calm? I've been around death a lot, so don't try to lecture me about grief, spearmint. My name is Sarah. You will use it because my father, Dr. David Ashur, the greatest programmer in the world, gave it to me. And he did not kill himself. Let's say you're right. David didn't commit suicide. If that's the case, the police will realize that soon enough. The police have already made their determination. That is what you just said. Father said that you were a lawyer and that you were capable and reliable. And a friend. You should be looking into his death. That's... Is that an order? Of course not. It is a request, Adonai. A request that I'll have to refuse. The police have their job and I have mine. If I stick my nose into their investigation any further, they'll come down on me hard. Cops don't like lawyers on principle. But what they really hate are people who tell them how to do their job. Let's go. We need to. Father asks you to look after me. Yeah, he did. He also said you should obey me. But you don't seem quite as fixated on that part. And he said something else. He said that you owed him a favor. Damn. One favor. The thin ice starts here, Spearmint. That was between him and me. Father is gone, so now it is between you and I. And I'm calling in the favor now. What? You don't have to take care of me anymore. Consider that request null and void. You can sell me to some collector, or you can donate me to a university. It doesn't matter. In exchange, you will prove Father didn't kill himself, and you will make sure that whoever hurt him is held accountable. Why are you laughing? It's you and me, not you and I. You and me. Wow, you're lying to her. David would roll over in his grave if he knew you'd gotten that wrong. That was not my intention to amuse or rotate. No, that's for damn sure. Wait. Is our girl just like gaslighting her? Between you and I. What? So she's totally gaslighting. No, that's for damn sure. Fine, I'll take the deal, Sarah. You mean you will prove that Father did not? I mean, I'll look into it. I'm a lawyer. I don't prove anything. I just disprove what I can. Then where do we start? I didn't realize you had a law degree. I do not have a law degree, but I am a fast learner. This isn't a job interview, and I am far from useless. The ADD did raise at least one good question. Where do I start? I'm a defense attorney, not a police detective. David was my friend, not my client. Won't be able to poke around at all unless... And I am also capable of... Can you tell a lie? I am capable of making statements that are false. Guess that'll have to do. You're gonna ask me to lie? Yes. To the police, in fact. Lying to the police is a felony. Androids don't commit felonies. They make errors. I see. What kind of error did you have in mind, Adonai? "11:14 a.m. Oh, we're making androids lie. Are you sure about this? Yeah, I have questions too, don't you? Right now, I'm just a little better equipped to get answers than you are. Okay, go for it. I'll make sure they're watching. Is the air quality at Noble headquarters kept up to state standards? What's that? All these Noble employees seem to have asthma. Was Father also working under such poor conditions? They don't have asthma. Then why are they all carrying inhalers? Yeah, what the hell is that then? Wait. What's the inhalers about? First legalized in 2083, the stimulant sold under the name Adrozone. I remember that's what was mentioned as one of the medications our boy did in the episode 0, or needed. Has since become one of the most widely used drugs in the corporate world. As a class 2 stimulant of least concern, employees of any corporation in good standing with the Bureau of Narcotics Oversight can have access to Adrozone without a prescription as long as their HR representative feels it would be beneficial to their work performance. Sounds horrible. Workplace Adrozone, as it is sometimes called, is dispensed through biomonitor-enhanced inhalers that automatically detect overdoses and keep track of possible habit formation. Automatic safety levels may be adjusted at supervisor's discretion. Interesting. That means that a supervisor can do anything they want to their employee, like overdose them. Unsubstantiated claims that Adrozone was first invented as a purely recreational drug by the notorious violent Skullhead Mafia caused enough of a stir that in 2083 a formal investigative committee was formed. Unfortunate, in 2084, an industrial hydrogen fuel accident resulted in the deaths of all 391 known Skullhead members, placing their investigation at an indefinite standstill. Huh. All right, sounds like that was planned. Yes, ma'am. She's right over there. Oh, it's you. Oh, it's you. Did I mess up? On the contrary, eyes wide, she's a DA. Quiet. She succeeded spectacularly in getting Noble's ears perked up. Emma Rockford. Didn't think I'd run into you here. Yeah, I didn't think I'd be here either. but the powers that bethink my presence sends a strong message to the Megs, so... No, wait, what are you doing here? A few minutes later. I see. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you for saying that. And thank you, Detective Reyes, for your many kind words. Can't all be as talkative as you. Normally quoting poetry would feel pretentious, but you are so genuine in your reading. Bite me. I don't know that there's a need for all. I don't know that there's a need for all that. Very mature, Detective. Did you come up with that all by yourself? Oh no, that's Kaguya's signature pose. Like the pop star? I don't know what you're talking about. You can admit it if you do. Well, there's nothing to admit because I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who that is. Wait, now you're saying you don't know who Kaguya is? She's the most famous. Yeah, well, I don't know who that is, so... Ma'am. Weren't you about to say something? Oh, well, I'm still surprised to see you here now, Morgan. Are you helping plan the services? Actually, the company will be planning Dr. Ashur's funeral services. Wouldn't his family want to take care of that? That's his family. No. No? No. I see. Sorry. But if that's the case, why are you here, Morgan? Ha! Oh gosh, I'm so sorry to disrupt your morning. Hey, that's... You're here for the same reason as every suit they've got crawling around. Money. You're not wrong. There are a lot of annoying insects with annoying agendas scurrying around before my friend's body is even cold. But the honest truth is I don't even know if David had a will. The company helped him manage his estate. Legal probably is already on it. Actually, judging by how much coffee that intern is carrying into the elevator, I'm certain they are. Right, so if you're not here for the funeral or the reading of the will... Miss Starling asked me to come here, actually, on a matter of unrelated to David's passing. An unrelated matter? That's convenient. Isn't it? But now that I am here, it's come to my attention the police have made a determination in the case of David's death. And where did you hear that? Am I mistaken? No, you're right. They concluded that it was suicide. Can always count on her to be blunt. I was worried about that. Yeah, I'm sure you must be feeling, because I'm going to have to contest that charge. What? The state has made a charge. I'm arguing against it. The hell are you talking about? The police believe David committed suicide. Suicide is a felony in this country, Detective. It is technically a crime to commit suicide, yes, but we're not in the habit of bringing dead men to trial, especially not for their own murder, Morgan. No, not to trial, of course not. But there would be a preliminary hearing in a case like this, technically as a formality, assuming the courts aren't busy that day. I'm afraid that on this occasion I'm going to have to insist on formality. Yeah, well, you don't really have much to say in the matter, do you? With David gone, I have the only say, really. I am, after all, his criminal attorney. All that money, and he needs his drinking buddy to be his attorney? Bullshit. I'm also skeptical, Morgan. It's a pretty serious conflict of interest to be your friend's defense attorney. You're absolutely right. It is a conflict of interest. And I would have said as much to him if I had the chance. What do you mean? I only found out that he wanted me as attorney today. After he died, how the hell did you miss that memo? Embarrassing, isn't it? But to be fair, it was hidden pretty well. Oh, didn't know you had an Android, Morgan. It's cute. Thanks, it's actually David's, and it's technically my witness. Witness to what? 38 hours ago, that is, David Ashur communicated to me, as a matter of record, the following explicit legal intent, that in the case of any and all criminal charges brought against him by the state, his attorney would be Evangeline Morgan. Evangeline. Pas amusé. Wait, seriously? Your name's Evangeline? This is amazing. Did your parents name you after a Christmas carol? Should we all be curtsying? It's not that funny. No, of course not. Nothing to be embarrassed about, Evangeline. I don't actually find it that amusing. Or do your friends call you Angel? I hear Kaguya's on tour, Detective. Should I get you tickets? You could have your dad drive you like all the other 15-year-old. Hey, feels like we're getting off topic. What, were we just... I was telling you that David Ashur wanted her to be his criminal defense attorney. Imagine my surprise. The android's recording of a verbal expression of intent isn't exactly ironclad, Morgan. That's fair. If we're going before an upper-level court, I would expect that to be open to all kinds of scrutiny. Honestly, we are lying and getting ourselves in there, but hey, Morgan's a really good liar. But we're talking about preliminary hearing, a formality, as you called it. If he asks for representation, he deserves representation. Doesn't matter whether he's dead or alive. Am I missing something? What difference does it make? Not even an adjutant would be obtuse enough to sentence a dead man. No, there won't be a sentence, but adjutant will render a verdict. And the verdicts have consequences, even for the deceased. Is this what this is about? What's she getting at? If the court agrees this was a suicide, the verdict will retroactively affect evaluations of the individual's mental health. Like whether it was in the right mind or not. You know anything about estate tax law, detective? No. And I'm sure you'll be happy to educate me. More than happy. An individual found by a court not to be of sound mind can't very well give their consent to the lawyer drawing up their will. And if his will is compromised, all of David's considerable assets would be suddenly thrown into legal limbo. In which case, the state would be legally obligated to come and pick up the pieces. So this is just about his money. I'm almost disappointed in you, Morgan. Well, when you take into consideration all the factors, it's actually more complicated than that. For example... Ha! Never mind. No, Starling, you should speak your mind. All I meant to say is while Dr. Ashur did have significant holdings in art, real estate, and intellectual property, he also, of course, owned a great deal of stock in numerous corporations, principally Noble. If he was ruled to not be of sound mind, and his shares were to end up acquired by the government, Noble would suffer a serious blow to its commercial image and its standing in the financial community. All of which is to say, there is a great deal at stake here. Not the least of which is the reputation of a man whom I was proud to call my friend. You're not buying this, are you? In case you haven't noticed, the city is working closely with Noble on this, and they're not going to let you bring them any unwanted attention. Starling did her part. They're all watching, and they've stopped trying to hide it. From here on out, it's a gamble. Noble Electronics already has unwanted attention. Why are you raising your voice? If nothing changes by the end of the day, the whole country's going to hear about how David Ashur committed suicide. By midnight, there will be questions about his competency. Concerns about why the brain inside every single Noble ad was built by an apparently unstable man. The shareholders will have nothing to do all Sunday but brood over that sad thought and all its disturbing implications. By the time the markets reopen on Monday, expect some volatility. Well, I would expect a great deal of volatility. That's so. I understand noble apprehension, of course, Emma. I just feel like right now the fiscally conservative thing to do would be to not get in my way. So, you've got your reasons, and Noble's got a lot to think about. Why should the district attorney's office devote valuable time to playing out this game of yours? Because they're certain they'll win. That goes without saying. The courts should have an opening at 6 p.m. I didn't have anything planned. Then it's a date. Detective, would you get her clearance set up? Yes, ma'am. Updates every hour, yeah? You're out on a limb, Morgan. Better not linger. Here. Clearance for all the relevant sites and police firewalls. You can interview and investigate with your authority as an officer of the court now. If you haven't already been doing that, don't even think about being sloppy on Discovery. With Discovery on this, Rockford might think you're funny, but I appreciate the warning, Detective Reyes. It's nice to know you care. I live to serve. And protect. Woo! Thanks for the assist, Starling. Yeah, no sweat. Are all the cops like that, or are they more like that Detective London gentleman? Most are kind of like him, actually. Well, I would say. Most cops I met are like London, yeah. Courteous and polite and friendly. Lazy. Oh. Right. Well, I'll see you at the courthouse tonight. If you need anything in the meantime, don't be afraid to ask. Good luck, both of you. Sorry about that. Well, I have a few options. I have access to the crime scene now. Probably the best place to start. I'd like to head over to the company building as well. To get me registered, among other things. Either David killed himself or he didn't. But if he did, it almost certainly is his asshole corporate overlords who are to blame. In which case, I'll want to take my sweet time raking them over the coals. What are you doing? Nothing. What about Father? When can we see him? He'll be at the morgue by now. The medical examiner will speak to me now that I'm operating under the court's authority. But if I stop to flash paperwork at every nurse and security guard with nothing better to do than ask questions, I'll have to... What's that look for? Your father's friend. Thank you again for reminding me. Aren't there people you'd like to speak with, other friends who'd want to know? Bad news travels fast. I'm sure everyone in the country has heard about David by this point. All that heartbreak shit did keep me pretty occupied these last few weeks, and I was never one to pry. If there was someone who could tell me more about David's personal life over the last several months, it'd be worth the effort of finding them. Do you have someone in mind? Maybe someone he met recently? He spoke about becoming close with someone this year, a musician. Now that you mention it, there was a P.O. something that David might have mentioned when we talked back in Poe something. I will begin a search. I've completed my search. I found nothing. I like the confidence. Thanks for the old college try. Is that really the best you can do? Father was a private man, in person and online. With just a few letters and the fact that he was a musician, I'm afraid we don't have enough information to narrow down the results at deny. No, we have plenty of information. We just need the right person for the job. What kind of person is that? Expunged. Precinct. Damn. All right. 11, 12. Detainment room 001. And who would you even have called? I don't know. But I still should have gotten my phone call. Instead, I got you. Who is this? Who are you again? My latest guardian? New foster parent? Want me to call you mommy? I'm not really the motherly type. Hey, yo, we might actually get along. So I've got good news and bad news. I'm not your guardian. I'm your lawyer. You've been given a lawyer because you're being charged with a felony. Fascist pigs. Skipping school is a felony now. Hacking into government database has been a felony for a very long time. That wasn't me. They have your keystrokes, your IP address, your login times, and the playlist you were listening to. That was for a homework assignment. Here's what I don't get. You got in, copied the data, you could have gotten right out. The state wouldn't even know they'd been robbed until they saw their passwords show up on the black market clearance 2 weeks later. But you didn't get out. You stayed and made changes to their database. You robbed the bank, got clean money, then dragged a can of spray paint behind you and all the way home. Why? Look, I didn't steal anything. I wasn't already compromised. Okay. And the only data I edited was my own. So if anything, they should be thanking me for correcting their mistake. And what did they get out of your And what, did they get your birthday wrong? My name. Name changes are only 2 pages of paperwork. You just need to fill out the form and get a signature from a parent or guardian. So, what's the good news then? Good news is that I'm your lawyer, not your guardian. The hell? That doesn't count as good news. That's just a thing you said. Don't be so sure, a lawyer's a lot better than a guardian. How's that? Parents, guardians, foster, whatevers. They're all supposed to take care of you because that's the right thing to do. Lawyer is someone who always does what's best for you, no matter what, because that's how they get paid. So, how good are you at your job? I'm amazing at my job. Oh. Hello, mon cœur. Mon cœur? Cœur? It's pronounced cœur, I see. I know how it's pronounced. And don't call me that. When I met Fran in that police station, I couldn't help but bet that I'd landed the jackpot, a valuable asset with a skill set complementary to my own personal and private pursuits. Someone who, after seeing the sweetheart probation deal I managed to land for them, would be more than happy to help me with whatever I need, whenever I need it. Always so cold, Fran. Can't even get a good morning? It's no such thing. Nothing good ever happens until the afternoon, when people are actually awake. What I got instead was a compulsive liar with a horrific sleep schedule and a crippling addiction to poor time management. Nice. What do you want, Red? I can't call you up just for fun? Not if you don't want to get blocked. I need you to find somebody for me. Can't do it. I've got homework. We both know the only time you ever do your own homework is during the class it's due. And I've got sports. You can't tell a basketball from a hockey stick. And I've got a bidding war to win. You're the only person on Earth bidding on 70-year-old Cucci and Air Jodan. Vintage reps, Fran. Cucci. I think that you can take your eyes off the auction block. I do love a good old parody brand. So sorry, but I'm busy, so I was hoping we could skip straight to the carrot portion of the routine, but if you insist on doing things from the top. Huh? I had an interesting conversation with your parole officer yesterday. Oh yeah? They've been really into the self-prefixes lately. What? Self-motivation, self-actualization, self-help. Oh, and he thinks you could really benefit from it. You're lying. He's got all the workbooks ready. Clearly your Saturdays are stacked, so I'll make sure your Sundays are full of fine. I get it. I need you to find a local musician. Musician, knowing you this will be electro swing or some other awful last name Powell or Parker. And is that all you got? They'll be in David Ashur's circles. Wait, Ashur? You're working that? That should be more than enough of a clever kid like yourself to go on. Don't go expecting any miracles. I need this soon, within the hour ideally. You know, I have other clients, don't you? Other clients who actually pay you on time? A musician. Find him. Okay. Even talking over the phone, you're very animated, Adonai. What do you mean? It's just that you're very expressive when you talk to people. Of course I'm expressive. If I wasn't, how would anyone know that I'm thinking? I see. I'll keep that in mind as we... Wait, did you really expect to tag along? Of course, Father was... Yeah, I know you want to. But why should I let you? Because I am capable and helpful. I mean it. I can take notes for you and move heavy objects. And I'll learn to do more. How? I will subject every individual we encounter to a basic survey to procure biographical information on them while I gain experience in questioning. Subjecting them to torture. I can help, Adonai. How fast can you fill out forms? Fast. Congratulations, you're halfway to being a paralegal. Are you coming? Right away, Adonai. All right. I guess we're now heading to the crime scene. July 1st, 2086, Noble Employee Housing Building. Platea. Penthouse, dining room. Oh, okay, so this is the area. Huh. You know what? I'm going to cut it here. Yeah, we'll continue in the next one. Thanks for watching, and we'll maybe finish up this chapter in the next episode. But it might be longer than chapter 0, so who knows? See ya.